Hold on. It looks like there was another ice shooting, like right now, kind of. I wasn't going to talk. I was going to talk about the other ice shooting, not this ice shooting. It's a lot of stuff's going on right now. What is this? A Colorado ICE detention center employee has been arrested for shooting a woman after a protest. He used his personal pistol to shoot the woman. Oh, okay, hold on. It's not an ICE shooting. It's a person who works for ICE just using his own gun to shoot a woman after a protest for fun. Okay, this one's just for the love of the game. So it's just, yeah, like a murder attempt. Just like a regular, okay, yeah. Okay, gotcha. That's cool. That's great. So with that in mind, let's rewind a little bit to the earlier ICE shooting, the one that happened in Maine. We covered it just a little bit yesterday, where the first thing this guy did after shooting and killing an innocent man for no reason was to get his wife to message his ex-wife on Facebook to ask her to lie about his character when inevitably the media starts snooping around. And it turns out he's actually much worse than you thought, than I thought, than we all thought. Like, he's a veteran, an ICE agent, and a former cop, but somehow that does not actually prepare us for how bad this guy is.
David, back in November, brought up that he had accepted a job with ICE. I thought that it was just a delusional thing because I'm used to him talking crazy, so to speak. So I said, yeah, sure you are, buddy. I didn't realize that he was actually working for ICE until yesterday, and I was completely shocked because I'm like, how do you keep getting into these jobs where you're around guns all the time? I asked him what was going on. He told me that I don't need to be answering questions for anybody, that all I needed to know was that it was a justified shooting and that he did do it. And he claimed that this man had tried to run him over. And I said, I don't see that in anything, and I've watched it from all angles. All I seen is how the car was going in circle after the fact. And then he's like, well, I need you to lie about my character because this is what it comes down to is my character. I don't want you talking about any of the abuse in our relationship. Like, this is literally about me, actually. I told him that I was not going to lie for him, that I've waited years to speak my truth. I've been silenced long enough, and now I need to come out with everything because a man lost his life. It was abuse, not only to me, but to our daughter.
This is a cut down version of it. I think she gets into detail in the NPR interview she did. It's a 3-minute listen. Is this a voiceover or is this the actual audio of the interview?
About the ICE officer who shot and killed a Colombian man in Maine on Monday. He's an Army veteran and a former police officer. Now, on paper, those qualifications might make him an ideal candidate for the job, but his ex-wife tells NPR's Vanessa Romo he's a violent person who never should have been given a gun. Vanessa has this report which describes allegations of assault.
Ashley Brulette and David Brulette were only married for about a year and a half, between 2007 and 2009. But she tells NPR.
We had been together from age 13 to 20.
So your entire childhood, you know him.
I know him.
The 37-year-old has identified her ex-husband as the officer who fatally shot Juan Duran Guerrero 4 times during an attempted traffic stop in Biddeford, Maine. NPR reached out to David Brulette for this story, but he did not return those messages. Ashley says the two of them haven't been in touch for months, but that changed on Wednesday when he called and asked for a favor.
He asked me to basically talk good in his character, not to talk bad about him. And I told him that I was not going to lie for him. He asked me not to talk about the abuse in our marriage. And I told him again, I was not going to lie for him. I said, why did you do it? Did you do it? And he said, yes, it was me. Yes, I was involved, but it was justified.
He insisted he acted in self-defense, she says, a claim she doesn't believe based on the abuse she says she suffered at his hands.
He hit me, choked me. And there was an incident where we had been fighting and I walked away and I got in the shower and he comes in with a gun and points it at me and tells me that he's going to blow my brains all over the bathtub.
There are no police reports to corroborate this story. Ashley says she was trauma bonded to Brulette and would always recant her story, even when she was the one to call the authorities. But there is a voicemail message. It's from November, when Ashley had filed a restraining order against Brulette. It goes on for 3 minutes and it ends with this threat.
Do I think that you should have your throat cuts or should have had them cut? Yep.
She says what the world has seen of her ex-husband,
just literally like a 60 IQ violent, like, but he was a cop and a soldier and now an ICE agent, you know? Just another, like, Trump didn't create this problem kind of deal. Like, the worst people in ICE were around back when Obama ran was the president, you know, ran the DHS as well. Greg Bovino was around under Obama. Tom Homan was around under Obama. Likewise, this guy was a cop, you know, long before Trump was president.
Ex-husband this week is the violent man she's been trying to warn others about for decades. When their marriage had collapsed and they were in the middle of a vicious divorce back in 2009, she says she reached out to Brulette's platoon leader. He was with the Maine Army National Guard. She offered to fax over paperwork showing that he'd been diagnosed as having manic bipolar disorder and borderline schizophrenia, but they dismissed it as ravings of a bitter ex-wife, she says.
Cool.
A couple years later, Brulette was deployed to Afghanistan. He returned with post-traumatic stress disorder. She says that made her even more fearful of him. Then at the end of last year, when Brulette first told Ashley he'd been hired by ICE, she didn't know what to make of it.
I honestly thought that he was being delusional, and I didn't believe it.
An ICE spokesperson said the agency will not confirm or deny.
Literally every fucking 40 IQ abusive fuck is the same life story. Yeah, no, seriously, they're all like so boring. It's so template every time. Oh, lifetime of abuse, crazy psycho, but the police never believe them. The wife's like abused into not talking to the police anyway, and then they just go on to be a cop and get $150,000 a year from abusing overtime. It just all the time, man.
Confirm or deny whether Brulette was the ICE officer responsible for Duran Guerrero's death. They said that the ICE officer in question has, quote, nearly a decade of federal law enforcement experience with required training. Ashley questions whether there was a background check. If there had been, they might have seen a trail of violence, like the time in 2022, when Ashley says Child Protective Services and the police were both called to his home after he threw his then 13-year-old daughter through a coffee table.
Through a glass coffee table,
Cool.
yes.
Now, Ashley is distraught over this week's events, that someone has lost their life.
I feel like even though I tried to bring awareness to his mental health conditions before and I got ignored, that I really need to push and be heard now and hopefully prevent something like this from happening again.
The Department of Homeland Security and the FBI are overseeing the investigation into Duran Guerrero.
I'm sure he'll see justice. Don't worry. With the DHS on the scene? Oh, yeah. Poor lady. Ladies, including the daughter. Yeesh. I don't know, man. This guy might be going in the hole. I don't think so. I mean, have you heard the ICE agents that shot Alex Preddy and Renee Good haven't been haven't been sent to jail. He'll be protected. Yeah, ICE won't even confirm he was the one doing the shooting, even though he's already confessed he did the shooting by messaging out to his ex-wife and saying, "Hey, I did the shooting and it was justified. Can you lie about me?" Hey. Why does the DHS go out of its way to protect these freaks? Cops do as well. So does the army. Because they specifically seek out these people. They want feral animals who will basically just do whatever they say and don't... gang members, basically. People like this make up military special forces. A lot of cops are like them. I mean, this guy seems particularly mentally unwell, but that doesn't... I don't know. Maybe that... He's not like the average cop. He's slightly worse than the average cop, you know? Like, you can't go after people like this because then you would incur disloyalty from all the other people in ICE that are like this. It's like, well, why don't they throw out the bad apple? Because they're all bad apples. They're all like this. That's the point. Like, you can't go after him because then every other fucking guy like him is going to be like, wait, am I next? And then they're all going to leave. Like when they tried Chauvin. Yeah, they tried Chauvin, like half the cops in America were like, this is unfair.